When you're trapped in a relationship with a narcissist, it's common to wonder, why do they seem to get away with everything? Why does it feel like karma never catches up to them? In this video, we'll unravel this question and explore the truth behind narcissistic behavior, the lack of karmic consequences, and why you might feel stuck. Stick with me to the end. Understanding this can be the key to freeing yourself from the toxic grip of narcissism. Narcissism isn't just about arrogance or vanity. It's a complex personality disorder that causes individuals to have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Narcissists often manipulate, control, and exploit people to maintain their sense of superiority. They may seem charming at first, but this charm is just a mask. Underneath is a fragile ego that thrives on validation from others. A narcissist's world revolves around their perception of themselves. Everything they do is calculated to ensure that they appear perfect and worthy of admiration. This makes them experts in controlling how others perceive them. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you may find yourself constantly questioning your own reality, second-guessing your emotions, and even doubting your worth. It's exhausting, but it's all part of the manipulation. Narcissists thrive on control, whether it's over people, situations, or how others perceive them. They can use guilt, gaslighting, and even love bombing to keep you hooked. The more they manipulate you, the more they secure their position as the center of your world. They'll make you feel like you owe them everything, and that their happiness depends on you. But this is all just a facade to maintain power over you. One of the most frustrating things about being involved with a narcissist is their refusal to take accountability for their actions. Even when they hurt you, they will twist the narrative to make it seem like you're the problem. They never admit fault, and they have a knack for deflecting blame. This makes it feel like they live in a world where they can do no wrong, leading you to wonder why they don't face consequences for their actions. Karma is often seen as a universal force that punishes wrongdoers and rewards good deeds. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, it seems like karma never gets to them. They may harm others, lie, and manipulate without ever facing consequences. This can lead you to feel like there's no justice in the universe, and you might start questioning why they continue to get away with their behavior. The truth is that narcissists are incredibly skilled at evading the consequences of their actions. They often manipulate situations to their advantage, making it difficult for others to hold them accountable. They may use charm to mask their true intentions or create confusion to keep you off balance. As a result, they avoid the usual repercussions that would affect someone else. This creates the illusion that they're immune to karma. Narcissists are experts at playing the victim. When faced with criticism or accountability, they often flip the narrative to make themselves seem like the wronged party. They'll use tactics like guilt-tripping, projecting their own flaws onto you, or even making you feel sorry for them. This not only deflects any potential consequences, but also makes you feel responsible for their well-being, keeping you emotionally tied to them. One of the most insidious aspects of narcissistic behavior is their ability to manipulate empathy. Narcissists know how to push your emotional buttons to get the reaction they want. They will often prey on your desire to help, your guilt, or your need for validation. This emotional manipulation makes it hard to see the truth. They aren't interested in your feelings, they only care about using you to serve their own needs. Narcissistic relationships often follow a predictable pattern: idealization, devaluation, and discard. During the idealization phase, the narcissist showers you with affection and praise, making you feel like the most important person in their life. But once they've secured their hold over you, they begin devaluing you, treating you with disrespect and even cruelty. This cycle leaves you confused and emotionally drained, wondering why the person you once adored has become someone you fear. One of the most powerful tools in a narcissist's arsenal is gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation, where the narcissist causes you to question your own sanity. They might deny things they've said or done, making you doubt your own memory or perception of reality. This is a tactic designed to keep you in a state of confusion and self-doubt, making it harder to recognize the abuse and harder to break free. In many cases, narcissists are charming and charismatic, especially in the early stages of a relationship. This charm is often what draws you in and makes you overlook their manipulative behaviors. Narcissists know how to create the illusion of an ideal partner, making you believe that they are everything you've ever wanted. But this charm is a tool, not an authentic trait. It's meant to hook you and keep you emotionally invested in them. While narcissists can be highly manipulative, they often lack true emotional depth. Their relationships are not built on genuine connection or mutual respect. Instead, they view relationships as transactional, a way to get their emotional needs met and maintain their sense of superiority. This lack of empathy and emotional depth is why they can hurt others without feeling remorse or guilt. A narcissist's sense of self-worth is entirely dependent on the admiration and validation they receive from others. They need constant praise, attention, and recognition to feel good about themselves. If they don't receive this, they become agitated, angry, or even cruel. This insatiable need for admiration is part of what makes narcissists so difficult to deal with. They demand more than anyone can give and never truly feel satisfied. Narcissists often lack self-awareness. They don't recognize the harm they cause because they are so focused on their own needs and desires. They may not even understand why their behavior is hurtful to others. This lack of self-awareness is one of the reasons why they avoid the consequences of their actions. If they can't see that they've done anything wrong, they don't believe they need to change. Narcissists rely on what psychologists call narcissistic supply to maintain their self-esteem. This supply comes in many forms: admiration, validation, attention, or even fear. As long as they have a source of supply, they feel powerful and validated. When you're involved with a narcissist, you may find yourself providing this supply without realizing it. Your emotional energy, time, and love are being used to feed their ego. Narcissists often feel entitled to special treatment or admiration. They believe they are above others and deserve to be treated with respect and adoration. This false sense of entitlement makes them feel justified in their behavior, even if it's harmful to others. They don't see themselves as the problem. They see the world as unfair for not giving them what they believe they deserve. Narcissists build emotional walls around themselves to protect their fragile egos. They refuse to show vulnerability because they fear that others will see their imperfections. This emotional detachment makes it difficult to form genuine connections with them. They may appear cold, indifferent, or even cruel when faced with someone else's emotions, as they have no interest in understanding or empathizing with others' pain. As mentioned earlier, narcissists often cycle through phases of idealizing and devaluing their partners. This cycle keeps you emotionally off balance, constantly wondering if the narcissist still loves you, or if you've done something wrong. The extreme highs of being idealized are followed by the lows of being devalued, creating an unhealthy emotional roller coaster. This instability is designed to keep you hooked and reliant on the narcissist's approval. You may wonder why karma never seems to catch up to a narcissist, even though their behavior is so damaging. The truth is that narcissists rarely experience true consequences because they have mastered the art of manipulation. They create environments where they are seen as blameless, even when they are clearly in the wrong. In many cases, they are able to charm and deceive others into overlooking their behavior, which allows them to avoid the repercussions they deserve. Narcissists are often highly skilled at controlling how others perceive them. They can manipulate their image, making themselves appear kind, charming, or even self-sacrificing when they need to. This ability to control perception gives them a powerful advantage in avoiding the consequences of their actions. They may even turn others against you, making you feel isolated and powerless to stand up to them. Emotional manipulation is a key tactic used by narcissists to control their victims. They know how to push your buttons, exploit your weaknesses, and make you feel guilty or ashamed. This manipulation is designed to maintain their control over you, making it harder for you to break free. Narcissists use your emotional vulnerabilities as a tool to maintain their power and keep you emotionally attached to them. While narcissists may seem invulnerable, their behavior often leads to their own downfall. They may alienate friends, family, and colleagues with their self-centeredness, eventually leading to isolation. Their inability to maintain healthy relationships and their tendency to push others away can result in a life of loneliness and despair. However, this downfall is often slow and subtle, which makes it hard to recognize as a form of karma. Despite their outward confidence, narcissists often have a fragile sense of self. They are deeply insecure, and their grandiose behavior is a defense mechanism against their internal fear of inadequacy. They may project confidence, but this is merely a mask for their inner turmoil. Understanding this vulnerability can help you detach from their emotional grip and stop feeling responsible for their well-being. If you've been trapped in a relationship with a narcissist, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being. Narcissistic relationships are emotionally draining, and the longer you stay in one, the more damage it can cause. Taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, and seeking support from trusted friends or a therapist can help you regain your strength and start healing. You are worthy of love and respect. Don't forget that. Leaving a narcissistic relationship can be difficult, especially if the narcissist has manipulated you into thinking that you can't live without them. Reaching out to others who understand what you're going through is crucial. Friends, family members, or a therapist who specializes in narcissistic abuse can offer invaluable support. Don't try to navigate this journey alone. You deserve help and healing. Recovery from narcissistic abuse takes time, but it is possible. It involves acknowledging the abuse, understanding the dynamics of narcissistic relationships, and healing from the emotional wounds. You'll need to rebuild your sense of self-worth and rediscover your own identity outside of the narcissist's influence. This process may be challenging, but with the right support and tools, you can regain your power and find peace again. One of the hardest things to accept in a relationship with a narcissist is that karma may never catch up to them in the way you expect. However, this doesn't mean that there won't be consequences for their actions. Narcissists often experience internal turmoil, dissatisfaction, and loneliness, even if they never outwardly show it. Over time, their lack of empathy and unhealthy behavior can lead to isolation, and this is the true consequence of their actions. Setting boundaries is key when dealing with a narcissist. They will try to push against your limits and manipulate you into doing things for them. Strong, clear boundaries protect your emotional health and prevent the narcissist from exploiting you further. This can be difficult, especially if the narcissist has conditioned you to prioritize their needs over your own, but setting boundaries is essential for your healing. Once you understand the nature of narcissism, you can start to free yourself from the emotional chains that bind you to the narcissist. Moving forward may mean cutting ties entirely, or finding ways to interact with them from a place of emotional distance. You have the power to take control of your life, and by prioritizing your emotional health, you can begin to heal from the pain caused by the narcissist.